Hi, everyone. This is Michelle Grimolia. I am the president and CEO here at Woodland Pond. And today is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. And this will be my update. This will be available for re-airing at 4 p.m. today and 8 p.m. today. And as well can always be found on our YouTube channel. For those that have experienced a little bit of intermittent sound not working on channel 1340, most particularly this past weekend, we do have a representative from Spectrum coming this afternoon. He'll be meeting with Jason. They'll be talking about that issue, as well as a couple of other, we do have 2 residents that are experiencing intermittent Wi-Fi signal, internet usage. So we're going to go through, Jason's going to go through a couple of those things with the Spectrum rep. We are at their mercy, of course, so we shall see what happens, but we are going to talk to them about that. I don't think that the volume issue on 1340 is a Spectrum thing. I think it might just be a fluke, but we will see. So we are going to look at that. And Jason, of course, is your contact on anything related to that. So if you have anything that comes up, you can go ahead and contact Jason Irish. He's at extension 5970 internally or 256-5970. So let's see. Okay, so I want to start today by going through our birthday list because normally we would do this in person on a Tuesday, but we're still not doing group unmasked activity just yet. So let's go through birthdays. So for the month of January, we had Shalom Schwartz on January 1st. Happy birthday. John Percassi on January 3rd. Virginia Coley celebrated her birthday on January 4th. Francis Geronimo, Marge Satter, and Adele Warshawski all celebrated on the 6th of January. And I know Adele in particular had a special birthday. So happy birthday, Adele, and everyone else that had a birthday on that date. Faye Bishop had a birthday on January 7th. Stanley Dranowski, a newer resident here at the community, celebrated on January 9th. We had 2 birthdays on January 10th. That was Mary Duffy and Mary Gelhouse. So to the 2 Marys, a happy birthday on January 10th, yesterday. Today is Phil Kissinger's birthday. Martin Lodge has a birthday on the 14th. Joan LaChance celebrates on the 17th. And on the 18th, Ann Gordon has her birthday. On the 19th, Elizabeth or Betty Meshes, who's also a relatively newer resident, will celebrate her birthday, and she shares that with my daughter. So happy January 19th birthday. Dorothy Jessup celebrates on the 20th. Reverend Gary Mail will celebrate his birthday on January 23rd. Betsy Toole celebrates her birthday on January 26th. And on January 27th, Mr. Bill Sweetow will celebrate his 103rd birthday. We're so happy to have you with us here, Bill. And another year, another milestone. So happy 103rd birthday on the 27th. Barbara Robertiello will have her birthday on the 28th. And then we actually have 4 birthdays on the 29th. So Liz Alexander, Marion Baldwin, Jean Crawford, and Nancy Hetzler will all celebrate on the 29th. And Gail Logan will have her birthday on the 30th. So happy birthday to you all. And I hope it's a happy and healthy 2022 for all of you. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go through today, we do have, starting tomorrow, we will be resuming masked congregate and group activity in independent living. We're not quite there yet for the health center, but we will be doing that for all community building and independent living activities that are masked. So you can look at your normal newsletter, your normal calendar, and you can plan to resume masked group activity. So we're not yet resuming more expanded use of the pool and no changes in the fitness center just yet in terms of the masking and so forth, but everything else will resume. We are asking everyone to stop use of cloth masks in the group settings here at Woodland Pond. The science is telling us that this new variant is not particularly deterred by a cloth mask. So I did include significant details yesterday in my memo about it's our ideal goal that all of you wear a KN95 mask, which you can purchase commercially. That will give you the best protection beyond going to a full N95. So again, a KN95 is the ideal. And yes, there are different makes and models, and they're not all created equal, but all of them are better than a cloth mask for sure, a paper mask that's not surgical. And so we are recommending a KN95. So some of you have them, and I've seen you wearing them, so that's great. We have a resident that has actually just placed an order for 600 KN95 masks that will be coming in the next week or two. She wanted to do that as a gift for the residents, understanding that the KN95 does give a nice amount of protection, but some folks aren't exactly sure where to get them or may not have them. So once we have those KN95s in that are a gift from your neighbor, we will make notice. You will be able to reuse those as long as they are not soiled or torn or wet or compromised. We'll get instructions out about that. So in the meantime, you can go ahead and try to buy KN95 at the store. As I said, a number of you have them. If you don't have a KN95 and you're not able to get access to one, certainly you could wear, the next best thing would be a surgical grade paper mask. If you don't have that, a regular paper mask doubled up would be just fine. All of those things are going to provide you more protection than a cloth mask. So for the time being, with the cases just being still so very high, we are asking in the group meetings and so forth not to wear cloth masks, and we will be putting signs up to that effect. So more and more, so you'll hear us sort of reminding you, no cloth masks, please put on the masks that we're asking for. This is one way that we can get back to some level of, community feel, more quickly than the numbers would warrant by adding an added layer of protection. So that is that on the mask. So if you have any questions, you can certainly let anybody in management know, and we can help you guide you through that. So again, just to reiterate, so tomorrow group activity will be resuming in independent living and in the community building. We are going to ask you to safely distance as much as you can, certainly wear those higher level masks, keep your masks on at all times. We are still seeing an average of 4 or 5 new cases on campus every day. And while the cases seem to be mild, we don't want to go the wrong direction. So we want to resume masked, safe activity, but in the safest way possible. So we are delaying expanded use of the pool and the reopening of seated dining until at least next Wednesday. So as of right now, we're rescheduled to resume those things next Wednesday, the 19th. And it will all be predicated on how our numbers look on campus and how numbers look in the community. So we were hopeful to be able to do it this week, but we didn't expect the community widespread to be so high, nor to be continuing to see 4 or 5 new cases every day here on campus. So we need to just be safe. And obviously unmasked activity is the least safe thing that we can do, especially if it's up close like you would be in the dining room. So we do need to put that off. And to that point, I did unfortunately get a number of reports in the last 4 or 5 days that there have been some groups popping up for, I guess, impromptu happy hours or get-togethers. The concern there is that the folks are unmasked, and we are just asking you not to do that. If we thought that it was safe to do that right now, we would reopen the dining room, and we just don't think we're there yet. So my continued recommendation is that you certainly can get together. It's your choice, but you should be doing so on a masked basis. You shouldn't be consuming food. You shouldn't be sharing refreshments. You should be remaining masked at your visits. You can eat before or after. If you do feel like you absolutely must consume something, then you should be at least 6 feet apart. Take your mask down for a moment and have a sip. But we're not doing group refreshments right now. So if you could please refrain from that for another week, it would be greatly appreciated. We hate to have any misstep sort of spoil our return to having the dining room be back open and so forth next week. So we are just asking for everyone's cooperation on this. So again, please, feel free to get together if you'd like to, but please do be masked when you do that. Let's see, visitation is still open. That's across campus. So even though we do have the skilled nursing unit on droplet precautions with the new cases that we have, Visitation is still open, so that has not been interrupted. So please do feel free to visit. Every visitor to the health center especially must screen in at reception. That has not changed. And you will be given the appropriate personal protective equipment to put on prior to your visit. Likewise, no one should be visiting in independent living without screening through concierge. It's very important that we know who's in the building at all times and that they are symptom-free. So please make sure that your visitors are screening in at concierge if you live in independent living, but otherwise visitation is open at this point. You did see in my announcements over the weekend, I think starting on Friday, that Governor Hochul announced a test mandate for skilled nursing visitors. We have received no additional information about how that is supposed to occur because we do not have test supplies. So this is a situation where the governor has issued a directive that appears to be guided at reducing nursing home cases of COVID. But there are no, supplies that have come just yet. So if this does go through and follows what the guidance says it shall be, then each visitor to skilled nursing, potentially assisted living, but definitely skilled nursing, would need to have had a negative COVID test within 24 hours prior to their visit. So it could become quite onerous, especially for those that visit daily. So we're working on, how the governor exactly expects, organizations like ours to roll this out. And as soon as we have information, we will let you know. It's the same thing with the booster mandate that she announced for healthcare workers. Again, we don't have access to boosters. We've offered boosters, in the preceding weeks, and all of the staff certainly that have wanted a booster up until now have received one. So we have yet to see what exactly is going to come of that. So I don't have any additional information for you at this point, but that's where we are right now. I think for non-COVID related items, we do have this Friday, the Reward Our Valued Employees Committee, the RVE Committee, which was formerly the Employee Appreciation Fund. They are really trying to get everybody sort of geared up and enrolled for 2022 right at the beginning of the year this year, so that that program of showing appreciation to the staff that is completely run by residents is dealt with sort of earlier in the year this year. So for those residents that have questions about the Employee Appreciation Fund, or now what is called RVE, the Reward Our Valued Employees Fund, the RVE committee members, which are all comprised of residents, will be having a table, an informational table with somebody will be sitting there to answer questions from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. this Friday, the 14th, outside of the mailroom. So if you have questions about the purpose of RVE, the history of RVE, the priorities of RVE, then you can certainly feel free to stop by and see the RVE committee members. And I am certain that they're probably recruiting new committee members too. So if you're interested in being part of that committee, you can certainly let whoever is sitting there know that, and we can go from there. And let's see, I think that's all that I had to cover for today. I am in my office. I will be here this week. You know where to get in touch with me if you need anything or have any questions. Please try to stay warm. It's really chilly out, but it's absolutely beautiful. So do try to get outside and get some fresh air. And I hope you all are doing well, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.